Hey fogies, it's Lucas and welcome to Thrifty Thursdays. 8 things that I don't spend my money on. Let's get started. The first thing is video games. So I know a lot of young guys and women like to play video games. It's an escape. It's something to do when you're bored, when you want to feel like you're making progress. And there are so many avenues to spending money with video games. I mean, just look at all the game stores. EB Games, GameStop, Best Buy, Steam. You can buy video games, consoles, controllers, subscriptions, downloadable content. There's a million ways to spend money with games, apps. But I haven't played video games since high school. Not really. Maybe that makes me a boring guy. But you see, spending money on video games is, in my opinion, a waste. I would rather level up in real life than in a game. That's not to say that video games are inherently bad and that you should stop playing them altogether, but maybe consider moderation and leveling yourself up in real life instead. So the second thing on my list of things that I don't spend my money on is new clothing. So clothing is very important. It's important to dress nice, to have a good appearance, and to have some sense of style. Okay, so I'm not telling you to go out in public dressed like a complete bum. That would just be stupid. People will judge you based on your appearance. That's the first thing they'll notice about you, for better or for worse. And so you should present yourself well. But what I don't do is go out and buy a new outfit every weekend. In fact, I barely ever buy clothes. That's why this is on my list. I don't dress like a pauper. You can see I'm wearing a decent shirt right now. I have a full wardrobe in my closet, courtesy of my parents who have purchased me clothing over the years, and I've just never felt the need to get more, right? It still fits me. It's still in good condition. So therefore, I'm going to continue wearing these articles of clothing. And if I do need a new piece, which occasionally I do, I will ask for it for my birthday or for Christmas. So when people ask me, what do you need, Lucas? I tell them a new shirt, a new pair of dress shoes. And then I don't have to spend money on these things. So that's the second thing that I don't really spend money on. The third thing is a new car. So I bought my car. It is, because I'm still driving it, a 2010 Toyota Corolla back in 2021. So it was the summer of 21, and the used car market was pretty hot at the time. Cars were pretty expensive, but I managed to grab my car for around $10,000 plus tax. So it ended up being all in around $11,000 that I paid. And I bought this car with cash that I had saved through summer jobs, right? I was still in university at the time, and I've always been really good with saving. I bought the car cash, but I always knew that I wasn't going to go spend money on a new car, right? A lot of people go out there and they'll drop $20,000, $30,000 on a new car. Or worse, they'll even finance the car, so they have to make payments. And I just didn't want to do that, okay? Buying used is a great way to save money, especially when it comes to cars, because they can be very expensive. And I know a lot of people, especially once they start making, a decent salary out of university or college, they want to buy a nice car. And to be honest, I don't blame them, right? There's nothing wrong with having nice things. But the problem is when you purchase these nice things in a poor financial position, right? And obviously that is going to be subjective. But in my opinion, if you're in debt, if you don't have at least, $100,000 invested, then you shouldn't be buying a new car, right? The fourth thing on my list, I'm looking at my list because my memory is apparently terrible, is books. And I really like books, right? I've never been a huge reader, to be honest, but in the past several years, I've really forced myself to read books, to learn things. I learned a lot about personal finance through books, but I never bought books. What I did instead was I went to my local library and I took out books for free. That's right, they're free. All you have to do is sign up for a library card at your local library. So no matter how broke you are, you can still learn things for free. And I would argue that what you can learn from your local free library is much better than even getting a college degree. There is never an excuse to not educate yourself. People who say, oh man, I can't afford college or whatever. I get it. You might not be the most privileged person, and that's understandable. But there's no excuse for not being able to educate yourself. And that's something that the library will give you. So the library is your best friend. And I have received some books for birthdays and for Christmas, and buying the odd book here and there, especially if it's something that is going to teach you more skills that you can use to make money and to better your life, it's not a waste. I'm not saying that books are inherently a waste of money. But what I am saying is you can get them for free. So use the free resources that you have available to you. Okay. Item number 5 is alcohol at bars. Okay. So I've been there. I've gone to bars. I've gone to clubs, but the prices are insane at these places because they're marked up. They've got leases to pay, these businesses. And so, of course, they're going to mark up the product. They're trying to make a profit. And you can save so much money by purchasing alcohol from your local liquor store or beer store. Or even now here in Ontario, we have beer in our grocery stores. So pre-gaming, if you are going to go out to the bar or the club, is a great thing to do. You save so much money, okay? Pre-gaming is your best friend as someone who's trying to save money and still wants to be able to have a few drinks every now and then. Of course, dates. Dates at bars, you can spend some money on drinks. I'm not saying to completely deprive yourself. I personally do occasionally, haven't in a while, but going to a bar and buying a bunch of booze is a complete waste of money. And unfortunately, a lot of college-aged kids do it, and it's not smart. The smart ones are pre-gaming, and the smart ones are going to dollar beer nights. So I digress on this point, but get your alcohol cheap. Don't buy expensive bar alcohol if you can help it. And number 6 is fads. So I don't spend my money on fads, things that are extremely popular, like Labubus or Stanley Cups. These are items, consumer goods, that are designed to make the creator who holds the patent and the business richer. And so I'm not about to go jump on the bandwagon and get this product just because everyone else has it. And this is one of the key concepts in becoming wealthy from scratch, starting from nothing or from very little. You have to be contrarian. So if you're jumping on every bandwagon and trying to look rich, trying to look cool, trying to fit in with the crowd, you're just not going to make it, right? You've got to be different. And you've got to be willing to put aside the popularity contest and just live the life that you want to live, okay? So no Labubus, no Stanley Cups, no Lululemon, whatever is popular with the kids these days. I stay away from that stuff. I just don't really find it that valuable. And quite honestly, if I wanted something similar, I could get it for a lot cheaper. Okay. Number 7 is gym memberships. So this one might be a little controversial. And of course, signing up for the gym can be a very good thing for your physical health, your mental well-being. And I am a big proponent of staying in shape, working out, sweating, and keeping your body active. But people who go out and buy an expensive gym membership oftentimes don't use it much. And usually there are much cheaper, if not free, alternatives available. For example, I myself am fortunate enough to have a gym with my company, my organization, so I use that occasionally. Honestly, haven't been going as much as I should be lately, but I try to use that gym because it's free and it has everything I need. It has weights, machines. Outside of the gym, you can also do your own bodyweight exercises, push-ups, ab workouts, cardio, go for a run, do some sprints, whatever. You don't have to go pay for a gym in order to get in shape and to be physically fit. Another big thing is walking, and I think a lot of people don't do enough of this, but walking, even if it's a quick 20, 30-minute stroll around the neighborhood, can do wonders for your health, and that's completely free. Okay, Number 8, this is the final item on my list of things that I don't buy as a 25-year-old future millionaire, and that is streaming subscriptions. So Netflix, your Amazon Prime, Hulu, Apple TV, all of these subscriptions for streaming shows and movies, I don't actually buy. The biggest reason I don't buy these subscriptions is because, well, I don't watch a ton of TV, and there are free streaming services like Tubi, which have ads, I will say, but there are free streaming services out there that do have some decent stuff, right? So if you want to watch a certain series, if you can, try to borrow someone else's subscription. I'm not saying to be a complete leech or mooch, and maybe you can pay them back in some other way, but if possible, try to eliminate subscriptions, which are recurring payments, from your lifestyle. Even if you're spending, $15 a month, that adds up over the course of a year, 2 years, 3 years. So ask yourself, is this really providing me with value, or am I actually just wasting time and wasting money? So these were the things on my list of things that I don't buy, or that I buy very little of. And I hope that you found some of these useful in your life. Hopefully you can take some ideas away from this video and say, hey, look, this thing, or this thing doesn't provide me with actual value that is really making my life much better. So instead of buying that thing, that service, I'm going to either cut it out of my life intentionally, or I'm going to find a cheaper or free alternative. And by doing this, you can really free up a lot of your cash to invest and to clear out debt, to do a lot of good financial things with. I think that's ultimately going to help you down your road to financial freedom and living the life of your dreams, an unencumbered life, an autonomous life, and a life that you can be proud of. So I hope you found this video useful. If you did, hit that like button. Let's see if we can get 100 likes on this video. Share it with your friends, your mom, your grandma, your cat, and I hope to see you in the next video. My name's Lucas. On this channel, I'm all about living your best life, leveling up, and reaching financial freedom. If that sounds like you, you're in the right place. Cheers. I'll see you in the next video.